Can I curse on this show?
Fuck yes.
Fuck yes. Okay, go. I'm sober from drugs and alcohol for 9 years now.
When we're hurt, we're the victims of that hurt. You know what I mean?
There's been chaos around me and I've been creating it. Yeah.
It's almost kind of like creating that path before you even know the path even exists, right?
I think I always enjoyed like expressing myself, however that was, like whether it was like jumping on the coffee table, half naked dancing.
Welcome to Unshut, a place where if at any point you feel like you need to shut the up, don't. Hey Christian, can you hear me?
Hey, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, how are you doing?
Awesome. Good. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. I think I can hear myself feedbacking a little bit. Can you?
No, I can't.
Actually, I think it's gone. I think I just made that whole
Yeah.
thing up.
Feedback hallucinations.
Exactly. How's your day been so far?
Okay, yeah, pretty chill. I teach yoga. I'm a yoga teacher as well. So yeah, I had one class today and just back home now for a few hours and then I have to run off and teach some more classes. But
Well,
it's
we are
been pretty
going to
chill.
talk about yoga here in a little bit, so I'm super excited you brought it up. But you're in
Cool.
Ireland, correct?
Yeah, in Dublin City.
Super cool. I just finished watching a show with Bono's daughter, Eve, and I can't think of the name right now, but do you know what show I'm talking about?
No, I actually don't.
It's called Bad Sisters. The name just came to me. Have you heard of it?
Oh, I have heard of it. Yeah, I heard it's actually really good.
It was so good. I think she's a fantastic actress. We definitely don't nepo shame on the show, but she is so awesome.
Really? Okay. I'll have to watch it then. I'm gonna have to check it out. I've heard from a few people it's good.
Yes, 10 out of 10. Definitely check it out. But if I'm not mistaken, you lived in Berlin for a while. Is that correct?
No, I've never lived in Berlin. I would like to. I've traveled in and out of there for like a few times. I've done some kind of small performances there and worked, kind of promoted my music quite extensively there. So yeah, maybe that's where you got the confusion.
Gotcha. So it was for
Yeah.
music related though, but when it comes
Yeah.
to the music scene out there, what was your favorite part about promoting your music in a place like Germany in comparison to your hometown there in Ireland?
I think their sensibilities are, quite different just musically. Considering my first two albums were very like grounded in that kind of, electronic space. I think like Berlin is very kind of, they're very hip to like electronic music and I mean a huge influence to those early albums of mine were actually a group from Berlin. So yeah, I think it's just those sort of those connections there. Maybe they kind of enjoy quirky stuff, or that's what I seem to feel. That could just be complete, bullshit. But can I curse on this show?
Fuck yes.
Fuck yes. Okay, go.
No, that totally makes a lot of sense, and I can totally see how they do really gravitate to the quirky side of artistry. It's almost like
Yeah.
a New York type of quirky style that they like. So I love that you
Mm,
mentioned that. And just talking about music real quick, I was really fascinated to read about all the genres that you have loved your entire life. So this is how we're
yeah.
going to kick off the episode with this big question real quick. If Andre 3000 took one of your songs and completely changed its genre, which one would it be?
Oh my God. Which song? Wow.
I know that's a heavy loaded question.
I'd love to see what he did with like Drown Me Slow. That's like a popular song of mine that I released on my debut album. Yeah, I'd love to see what he did to that.
I don't wanna forget, no, let go. Drown me slow, drown me slow. I don't wanna forget, no, let go. Drown me slow, drown me slow.
Dude, that would be so amazing. Now that I did read correctly, right? You're like a huge Outcast fan, or did I fuck that one up too?
Massive, no, massive. Andre 3000 is he's the GOAT. And he's such a true artist, which is what I really adore about him, like how he's always been about the art. Because he could have kept going and capitalizing on his celebrity and his status as an artist, but I found it so interesting how, you know, after Outkast had kind of done their run, he decided to step back because he just wasn't necessarily believing in what he was doing, so to speak, or it didn't feel like he just wasn't feeling it, so he just stepped back. And I think that's so like interesting, because I think it's so easy for, you know, a lot of big names nowadays to just continue the, you know, the cash cow or whatever that they're in, you know. And you can hear it. I think you can hear certain artists, it's like they don't believe in what they're doing anymore,
Absolutely. I love that you're
you know.
saying this because that's 100% my favorite part about him too. It's just that he didn't feel the need to try to continue on to something just for the sake
Yeah,
of continuing. And I feel like that's how you allow it to have its moment. And that's what creates
yeah,
longevity is that you believed in what you did, you let it go, and then you move on, whether it means putting out something else or not. But that is what makes his music and his creation so timeless because he gave it its
yeah.
moment. And now today in 2026, you can listen to a lot of the stuff that he's written and produced, and it still sounds brand new today. It's my favorite.
Oh yeah, I mean the guy released like a flute album, you know, like recently, which is just amazing. I love that. I love that you have like this, you know, like in my eyes, he's probably the best, like, I don't know, lyricist, and just his flow is insane, and how he, like, it's almost like gymnastics what he can do. But you know, you go from that to a guy releasing this like jazz infused like flute album. I'm like, yeah, why not? Let's go.
Dude,
Let's
hell
do it.
yes. And that's the
Hell
best
yeah.
part because it speaks to him and that's what makes it so fun. So I
Yeah,
love that. Yeah, he's definitely one of my favorites too. So when I read that, I'm like, I for sure have to kick off the interview with that for sure. So
I love
thanks for
it.
humoring
Thank you.
me.
No, thank you for mentioning Andre. That's amazing. Yeah, that's
Yes, of
great.
course. Well, I definitely want to jump into your childhood real quick. Do you
Mm.
remember the moment it started to cross your mind doing something creatively would be a part of your path?
I think I always enjoyed like expressing myself, you know, however that was, like whether it was like jumping on the coffee table half naked dancing, like performing to my family. Or I remember we had these small classes in school of like kind of theater acting classes, and like I loved that, you know. I really kind of was like drawn to that, anything where I could express myself. And then as I got a little older, like kind of early teens, I discovered, you know, kind of poetry, and like that kind of world of like writing poetry, and writing that kind of went to writing like my first song or whatever. And that just felt so, it just felt like home for me. Like being able to kind of express myself in that way felt like home, and I guess I haven't been able to let it go since.
Well, we're definitely glad you have not let go of that inner childhood that has been dancing half naked on the coffee table because you
Yeah.
wouldn't be where you are at today if it weren't for that. But I obviously
Yeah.
have to ask this because, you know, we're talking about this kid that's fun, loves the attention. It seems like you were very comfortable in your home. Was that encouraged in your household between your mom and dad? Were they open to the idea of letting you explore your creativity, whether that meant dancing half naked on their fucking table?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they used to call me, like they used to shout out, "Oh, here there's Michael Flatley. There's Michael Flatley." And I'd just be dancing. I think there's footage of that actually. I'm like, I must be 3 or 4 years old. No, they were very encouraging. I mean, my family, like I kind of grew up in like a kind of a split home, like because my mother and father separated when I was very young, so I had like the life with my father and then the life with my mother and my stepdad. And I mean, both homes were very like a lot of music, a lot of art. Like my biological father, he died when I was like 12, so God rest him. But when he was around, he was such a huge influence on me musically. Like he was so into music. Music was always on in the house. He brought me to my first concert. You know, he got me my first guitar, like tiny little acoustic guitar. I think we figured out how to play "Come As You Are" by Nirvana together. And then yeah, when I got old enough to actually start learning, like, you know, music, and like was playing really heavy metal music, because that was kind of my introduction to like playing, was like grinding to like Metallica music, like just really heavy stuff. I don't know how, but my parents allowed me to like play so loud. Like I had, you know, these like big half stack Marshall amps and like how the hell they allowed it, but I'd be playing solo. Like I was telling my girlfriend the other day, because I actually wanted to bring her to my kind of hometown where I grew up in, and I was telling her like a story of like people down the street would be able to hear me playing guitar because it was so loud, and I lived in a tiny little village, you know. But yeah, my parents put up with it, which yeah, I really appreciate to this day.
That is so much fun. And I just love that you've literally been creating chaos since your childhood.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's been chaos around me, and I've been creating it. Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I definitely want to honor your father. And if I'm not mistaken, I had read that he was a teacher. Is that correct?
Yeah, he was a teacher. Yeah.
So I definitely want to throw you for a little bit of a loop and do some role reversing here with your dad in honor of him and his life, which I'm really sorry to hear that he passed, specifically
Oh,
at
thank
that
you.
young age. You know, it's not very
Yeah.
easy. So I wanted to have a little bit of him on record today with you. So
Cool.
I wanted to ask you, if your roles were reversed, what type of music would your dad be creating today?
Oh, that's a great question. He loved a lot of the artists that I'm a big fan of today. He was a huge David Bowie fan. He was a huge Pink Floyd fan. Frank Zappa. Then he liked like these heavier kind of. He loved Black Sabbath. He got into Metallica. Like he introduced me to Metallica. I don't really know. Like probably some weird psychedelic kind of art rock project.
Yes. Do you feel like you honor your dad in your adult life now as a musician with that little bit of quirkiness? I mean, you know, you've got the quirky side to your artistry, you've got the influences. I know I read somewhere that you also like Slipknot, so you do really
Oh
like some
yeah,
heavy metal shit, you know? Do
love
you
heavy
feel like
metal. Yeah.
that's a part of you carrying him in everything that you do in your adult life?
I mean, I would imagine possibly there could be some element to that, trying to make him proud in some way, maybe. Like I'm not sure. I would have to, we'd have to get some like psychology 101 person to come in and like analyze it. But yeah, there definitely could be a bit of that, or maybe that's what like led me into it at the start, was just because I did have that kind of musical relationship with my father a lot.
Absolutely. It's almost kind of like creating that path before you even know the path even exists, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And the following day, when the slow rush came, I thought of you. Tears raining on the wire, a slow reprise breaking through. Will it still be you when this year is through? Will I still hold on when this decade's gone?
Very, very cool. I also wanted to ask you, since we're talking about role reversing, what would you
Mm.
be teaching if you were a teacher and not a musician? And it cannot be music or yoga. Those cannot be the options.
Oh no, it can't be yoga. Okay, cool. Maybe this is a bit of a cheat like answer, because it's sort like it's very much yoga adjacent, and it's very much like it kind of is yoga, so I don't know if it's the right answer, but it would definitely be some sort of spiritual practice or like mindfulness practice. I feel like meditation or something.
No, that's perfect. That's beautiful. It counts. We'll take it.
Okay, cool, cool.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we're also definitely not going to be leaving your mom out of this one. I had read somewhere
Mm.
that she was a sign maker growing up. Is that correct?
Yeah, sign writing. So like stores or like shops that would need like a big sign outside. She would hand paint signs, and she'd also do a lot of, to this day she still does it sometimes, but like face painting children at parties and stuff. But yeah, very very talented with like the brush and painting, like in sign writing and stuff.
Which I'm totally jealous about, by the way, because I have no artistic bone like that in my
Oh
body.
really?
Yes, I do not. I wish I did. That's one of my biggest things. Like, I wish that I could draw or anything like that, but I cannot
Yeah.
for save saving my life. I cannot do it. But we obviously didn't want to leave her out of the episode, so I want to honor her as
Yeah.
well. And so I wanted to
Yeah.
ask
Yeah.
you, I'm going to give you an age, and I want you to tell me what you think your mom would make a sign about. And this is just the first thing that comes to mind. So I'll give you an
Hmm.
age of you, go back to that stage of your life, and I want you to tell me if she were to design something at the front entrance of your store, your job, your house, wherever, what would she
Okay.
design? Are you ready?
Let's go. Let's go.
All right. The first one I have is 5-year-old Christian. Go.
5-year-old, and it has to be related to like that chapter of my life, does it?
The first thing that comes to mind, it can. I mean, listen, I don't know that chapter of your life, so you can make this shit up for all I know.
5-year-old Christian. That's when my sister was born. So I think, yeah, something like my sister, something related to my sister.
Beautiful. So, like
Yeah.
Big Brother Christian, I love it.
Yeah, yeah.
Very, very cool. The next one I have for you is 18-year-old Christian.
That's when I left home. That's when I left the family home and like moved to Dublin City. So yeah, it would be like, I guess, a goodbye sign or something.
Beautiful.
Best of luck, Christian. Goodbye.
Amazing. The next one I have for you is 25-year-old Christian.
That was kind of the year I got sober. I'm sober from drugs and alcohol for 9 years now. That was like a big time for me, kind of really coming to terms with what I needed to do for me. So yeah, I don't know how my mother would write a sign about that, but yeah.
That's amazing.
That's what I think. That's what I think when I think of that age. Yeah.
Do you feel like that sobriety journey of yours is in connection to where you're at now with yoga? Is there a connection there?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I know yoga has helped my sobriety immensely. Like I know yoga was sort of like almost, one of the next stages to sort of healing for me. So yeah, I think they're all interconnected really, because again, I think it's all, at the end of the day, it's all just like being with oneself and like loving oneself. And so yeah, I think they're all connected in a way.
Absolutely.
That
Well,
makes
I
sense.
really
I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does. And I appreciate you mentioning that. First of all, congratulations on how long it's been. I think that
Oh,
it
thank you.
seems like to me that you have taken this new chapter of your life and continued to create and be this creative being that you were always meant to be. And that's not very easy to do. A lot of people in general, they like to drown and not let these parts of ourselves out in any shape or form. So to
Mm.
me, I think that it's so powerful to hear you say that this chapter of your life has been in connection to things that allow you to have clarity in your mind, something like yoga, something like creating music. And, I couldn't segue any better because I love what you do with your music videos. They're like watching short films. So I wanted to ask you about
Thank
this.
you.
Is that
Yeah.
part of the impression that you had with theater in your background? Is that where that comes from?
Yeah, I think it's definitely linked. I mean, anytime I do the music videos, it's an excuse for me to like, now I use the like quote unquote act like very, mildly, but yeah, I get to be on camera and work with, I mean, he's one of my best friends, but Tristan Hinu, who's like an incredible Irish film director, and he's really on the up at the moment. He's just finished filming his very first feature film, which is I'm so like excited for him. But yeah, like doing the music videos are so exciting for me because like I get to work with this, this incredible guy, this like incredible film director. I get to work with, Narian Van Maal, who's another person who works very closely with me. He's a cinematographer. I get to work with these guys in the film industry that are like really so talented, and I'm such a like in kind of connected with like theater and everything. I'm such a film nerd. I love film like just as much as music. I love film. So yeah, I've put like way too much money into my music videos just because I get so carried away because I love doing it.
Well, listen,
Yeah.
I hope you keep spending money on it because they're so good.
Yeah, I don't have any money left to do anymore, but hopefully one day it'll come back and I can do another awesome music video.
Oh, it must be nice to have someone to lay your head on at night and kiss and laugh. Sometimes it hurts so bad. Sometimes I hurt so bad. Sometimes I get so
Yes, well, I absolutely love them. I was scrolling through
Oh,
them
thank
leading
you.
up to today, and I just think they are so, they're literally not like watching music videos. Even when you're
Oh,
just
cool.
sitting, like there's something about the way that something can linger on you, and it just feels like you're watching a scene from a movie. There's something about how you're
I
doing
love
it.
that. It's
Don't
cool.
change
Thank
it.
you.
I'm obsessed with it. So I had to ask you this. If you could take one of your music videos and make an extended version, turn it into a short film, which one would it be?
Oh, that's a cool question. I really loved what I did with Eve. Me and Eve. Eve's an incredible Irish actress. Eve Connolly, and yeah, she was in my music video Another Life. Yeah, we kind of play the kind of the rough sort of idea of the music video was, you know, charting this sort of history of a couple, kind of charting the dismantling of a couple. But she's just one of those actors like that when you're with her, like you believe it's all happening. Like she was so good, and I remember just loving getting to kind of work with her because she made it so easy. Like she made it so easy. Like I was in love with her in the thing. I was like, she made it so real and believable. And I really enjoyed that, and I just loved how it came out. Like it looks beautiful, and Narian, our cinematographer, just some of the shots he got. So yeah, I'd love to see that played out as a short for sure.
Well, listen, if that ever comes into fruition and you do make your short film, I would love to be the first one to watch it, okay?
Yes, yeah, you'll get the preview.
Yes, of course. I had read somewhere that you were very into open mic nights for poets and singer-songwriters at one point in your life, which you sort of
Mm,
mentioned a little bit ago. I wanted to talk about that real quick, but I wanted to talk about it in a very unshut way. So, the first
mm.
question I have for you is, if Christian were to host an open mic infused with yoga, what would that look like? And this
Oh,
is the
holy
first thing
shit.
that comes to mind.
Okay, what would it look like? Wow. Okay.
Bet you've
I
never
think
been asked that before, right?
hell no. And probably never again. That's crazy. That's a really interesting question. I think I definitely I'd try to like bring some of my close yoga teacher friends in to the night and like get them almost like a weird variety show, like get them to maybe do something, whether it's whether they perform something, in whatever manner. Yeah, and then maybe at the end we'll like throw out the yoga mats and do a short yoga flow.
Yes.
I don't know
Just
how that would translate, but let's try it.
That's right. I mean, listen, you can't knock it till you try it, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it could be actually quite successful. You never know.
Hell yes. And then listen,
Niche.
that's the thing. This is how you're going to make your money for your short film and all your music videos. You're going to start
There you
hosting yoga
go.
nights with music or spoken words,
Yes.
poetry, and boom, you're welcome.
Yes. I won't be a poor artist anymore.
I also have to ask you real quick, when it comes to this, does the idea of mixing yoga with your music enlighten you, or does it scare you a little bit? What's that like for you in your head when you think about it?
It scares me. It definitely scares me, I think, because I think I do separate them, but then in ways they're not separate because even in my yoga classes and like I have a couple of workshops coming up. I tend to teach mostly predominantly hot yoga, which is like super intense. Like you're in a room that's like 37, 38 degrees, and like I teach very strong like kind of yoga too, so it's like let's go. It's like very intense. But even when I'm doing like my classes, I go under like the name Christian Cohle, so I have connected it all under the same name, but in my mind I separate them. I'm like, okay, this is yoga and then this is my music.
Do you feel like
But
that
who knows, maybe they'll
separation?
come together.
That's right. You never know. And especially now,
Yeah.
if you might do that yoga open mic night bar, you know?
Yeah, you've planted a seed, Mo. You've planted a seed.
You're very welcome. Do you feel like that separation allows you to not burn out? Because I feel like they're
Yeah.
both very vulnerable, right? You write something,
Oh
you make
yeah, yeah.
music that's very vulnerable, but yoga is also a form of meditation. Like you said, you become one with self. And so I feel like they're
Mm.
both very vulnerable. Does that separation allow you to not burn yourself out, if that makes any sense?
Yeah, I mean, anytime I've spoken to, students of mine or like some of the more regular students, and, we end up talking and they find out that I also do music or whatever. But I often say to them, like, I think the yoga does keep me sane. I guess the way I look at it, and it's kind of answering your question, I think, but like the music industry is such a difficult industry. And for me, my practice in yoga is just so important because it's almost like that kind of refuge for me that I can go to, and it kind of gives me sometimes the balance I need, or gives me that kind of outlet that I need. And maybe it is like, maybe I have separated them for that very reason, that like I can just go to yoga and do yoga in a very way where I'm just not controlling anything, or there's no expectation. Like it's funny, I wish I had that same attitude with my music career, like, because I just don't. I'll be honest, I don't. Like, there's so much expectation. I think I've gotten better as I've gotten older, but there is expectation quite often. There is like clinging and wanting certain things, and and it's hard. It's hard not to, in a way. You get so roped into the system, and you're, in some ways, we're enslaved by it. Like we all wanna stream well, or we all wanna get to play the shows we dream of playing, or get that record deal, or this or that. But that distorts the whole experience, and it takes away the truth of the whole experience. Whereas in yoga, I don't have any of that, man. I go, I do my classes. If I'm asked to do like more classes, I do them. If I'm asked to do a workshop, I do them. But I don't care. Like, so I wish I had that attitude with my music. I think I'm getting a little bit better, to be honest. I think I am getting a bit better, definitely. Like, when I look at myself when I was kind of doing my first album, or even into the second album, I've definitely grown a lot more to a place where I don't really care. And I'm also trying to just continually remind myself, like, where the real nourishment is in what I do. Like, there's byproducts to this industry, and if it happens, great. But at the end of the day, where's the real nourishment, and what's it really about?
I feel like that answer was so beautiful without you even realizing, because what I am noticing by just hearing you talk about this is that, in a way, it's a blessing in disguise that you haven't treated both the same. Because I feel like if you did, you really wouldn't know what one is lacking in the other, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, and I could turn the yoga into another thing that I have to succeed in, and I have to, and it just becomes that thing. So maybe,
Exactly.
yeah.
Absolutely. And I love that you just mentioned your previous work as well, because something that was very common in reading reviews about your project in 2023, which was Wetlands, they talked
Mm.
about how you pushed boundaries in that project. In your opinion, what sets that project apart from the project you're getting ready to release this fall?
What makes Wetlands different?
Yeah, in regards to like pushing the boundaries, like how did you push your
Yeah.
boundaries for this project in ways that you didn't? You mentioned growing from previous projects to where you're at today. In your opinion, how have you pushed the boundary in this one that you didn't in the last one?
Yeah, I went into like subject matter that's really kind of scary and uncomfortable, like subject matter that I've never spoken about before in my music, subject matter that doesn't always paint me as like, like the protagonist. Sometimes I'm the antagonist. Sometimes I'm not the good guy, or there's not even good or bad, but there's certainly this like moral ambivalence where it's not like just the last album where my heart is broken and I'm just going through that. This is different. And then just if you listen sonically, it's totally different. So yeah, I threw myself into this entire kind of new genre in a way, and I wanted to do that to sort of put a fire underneath me and kind of see what happens, because I really believe in just that idea of like, whenever you're entering into like a new project or creativity, you should feel a little bit like like you're in uncharted territory, you know? Like I could have easily done another Wetlands album, and that would have been really fun because I love that world, but I didn't want to. I wanted to do something different. I wanted to like learn how to play drums and get a bass guitar and start writing songs in a more kind of band driven way and singing differently. Like I started singing in a lower register and kind of, so all of those sort of kind of changes.
I love this so much because to me, I feel like it's talking about how you're almost doing this project while you're looking in the mirror, which is something you didn't necessarily do in your last one. This one, I feel like it's a little bit maybe more of you're facing yourself in the mirror and you're talking in certain ways. So, like you said, maybe you could be the bad guy in some of these writings that you're talking about instead of just
Mm,
harboring on the heartbreak in the last one. And I feel like that's not a very easy thing to do because when we're hurt, we're the victims of that hurt. You know what I mean? We don't
yeah.
really talk about how, in a lot of instances, we could be the ones that cause a little bit of chaos or hurt in our lives too. And so I am so intrigued by this approach of yours because I do think that it showcases a completely different side of you. I am super
Mm.
excited about that. I love it. And again, it's extremely vulnerable, and that's not easy to do.
No, if there's one thing I've learned through my music and through any expression is that you need to be vulnerable. Like you need to be vulnerable. I really believe in that. For me, to make something that's interesting, I think there has to be that vulnerability there. It's a funny thing because it's almost like each time I release something, I'm like, oh crap, what do I have to do now to make myself feel more vulnerable? You know, it's like each time I have to like peel another layer of the onion away. So each time it's like, ah.
Well, I feel like that's the thrilling part because there's always boundary pushing in everything that you do. I feel like the moment that you stop to push those boundaries, you're flat. You're done.
Mm,
There's no longer room for growth. And I feel like once you
mm,
push that boundary, then you ask yourself, well, how can I push it a little bit more? And you're absolutely right. There are so many layers to us that we can literally go 150 years peeling them back, which is why I do
yeah.
agree we have to keep doing it. And I love that you're doing that. So thank you so much for showing us all those onion layers, you know?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Plenty more to come, I'm sure too.
Hell yes, I cannot wait. I definitely have to ask you, for those that are being nosy, and by those I mean me because I'm a nosy bitch, I
Do
definitely
it.
have to ask you this.
Be a
When
nosy
you're
bitch.
not, that's right, when you are not doing yoga and you're not doing music, how do you wind down from all of these creative processes? We know that you love film, we know that you love music, you do yoga. What is
Mm.
something we don't know about how you like completely take your mind off of all of those creative outlets?
There's obviously the very regular things that like most people do, like whether it's like watching, like getting kind of lost in some new series or watching a film. Podcasts, I'm a big podcast guy. Books, I love reading. Like I read all the time. Like in every corner of my house there's like books here and books there and books there, and I'm like reading 4 or 5 books at a time. And yeah, reading is a big one for me. And the bath, it's funny. I was filling out answers to this interview the other day, and it was like, "What's your favorite place?" And I just said my bathtub, because like it is. It kind of is. That's where I like really just at the end of the night unwind. I just like really hot water, light some candles and just chill out. That's kind of my way of just like
All right, so when we see your next music video and it looks like a short film and you're in a bath, we know exactly where it came from.
exactly.
Amazing. I know that you're going to be doing an album launch in November. Is that
Mm.
going to wrap up the year for you when it comes to this project? Is November like your last hoorah at this project, or will there
Mhm.
be more in December, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I mean, it really depends if any other kind of things come up. Because of the albums coming out in October, there will be kind of me doing bits and bobs of like promotion, some in Ireland. I think I'm spending like a few days in Berlin as well to do some promo there. And then, yeah, obviously everything running up to that November album launch. So I don't know, that it could likely be kind of the last show of that year and kind of wrapping it up that year for that year. But who knows, if I'm offered like to perform, or if there's any little things that come up, you know, I would take it. So yeah, we'll just have to see.
Well, we're definitely going to be watching and waiting to see what comes of it, because I know I am super excited for this project to come out. So I obviously have to ask you, for those that are tuning in, please tell them where they can stream your music, when does the album drop, and let's give them those details so that they can be nosy bitches like me too.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you'll be able to stream it everywhere, wherever you listen to music, Apple, Spotify, etc., etc. I should know exactly when my album's coming out. I've just realized I'm not sure on the date. It's October, I think. Yes, it's the 16th of October. It's a Friday. Yeah, so I'm gonna just have faith and say it's 16th of October. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm like 99% sure it is.
Amazing. Well, Christian, it's been so good getting to know you, getting to chat with you. Thank you for giving
You too.
me
Thank you.
your time. Of course, I feel like time is the most valuable thing we have. And so the fact that we're able to do this while you're literally like, I think, what, 6 or so hours ahead of me, right? It's
Yeah, what
crazy.
time is it over there?
It's 10 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, no way. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. Are you like West Coast, or where are you?
The time zone that I am in is Central, so I'm in Austin,
Central.
Texas.
Oh, you're in Austin. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, because West Coast is like even more. It's like 8 hours or something. Or
Yes,
seven
which
or
is
eight.
where I'm
Okay.
originally from. But yeah, so we are
Oh, cool.
definitely apart. So I do appreciate the
Yeah.
fact that you were able to hop on this call with me and give me some of your evening before you go to yoga and do your master classes and all these fun things that you do. And I feel like the fact that you set some time apart for me just makes this even more special. So thank you so much, and we'll
Thank
definitely
you,
be in
Mo. Thanks
touch,
for
of
the awesome
course.
questions. Thank you for the fun questions. And I'm so glad you mentioned Andre 3000, because I think I'm gonna listen to him driving to work now.
Amazing. Well, you're very
Yeah.
welcome for all these ideas.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you've given me plenty to think about, actually. Yeah,
But you know what
plenty
I
of
always
ideas.
tell everyone, the compliment is yes in the questions, but the compliment there is that you inspired me to have good questions. If your art was shit, okay, I wouldn't have good questions to ask, okay?
I appreciate it. No, that's really sweet. Thank you.
Yes, of course. Well, great chatting with you. We'll definitely be in touch, and
You
I
too.
hope you have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, thank you, Mo. Mind
Take
yourself. See you
care.
later.
Of
See you later.
course. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, if you've made it this far, don't forget to follow the socials on the screen or in the description below. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. See you next week.